Overcoming Procrastination and Analysis Paralysis. Identifying the root causes. People who suffer from a fear of failure are many times extreme perfectionists. Why is this a problem? Fearing failure would incentivize starting assignments early to ensure the best possible results. It has been shown that a prevention focus on avoiding failure and negative evaluation is closely linked with chronic procrastination, and the grades of procrastinators are generally much lower than those of non-procrastinators. It is hypothesized that fear of failure, procrastinators might hold a faulty theory of ability, believing that ability is a fixed entity. It is only possible to show your competence. You can never do it if you are not already skilled at something. This contrasts with mastery-orientated students who believe that ability is improvable and seek to enhance their competence through mastering tasks. Because of low self-esteem and a worry about not measuring up to others' high standards, they use procrastination as a defense, allowing them to preserve the perception potential and ability by saying, if I had done it, I would have done it well. I just didn't try. Anxiety and procrastination increase as the deadline nears, and the expected performance is often below average. It does not reflect the student's true capabilities. There are many reasons for procrastination, based on various psychological, emotional, and practical attitudes and thought processes. This section will present some of the most common, centering on those that often cause academic difficulties. The aim of identifying these reasons is not to provide another excuse for delayed work, but to increase understanding of why we procrastinate so that strategies for change can be more effectively focused on the root causes. Fear of failure. We are afraid to fail because failing often leads to the experience of shame and guilt, the two most damaging and unpleasant emotions. This is supported by extensive research showing that the most common self-attributed cause of procrastination, particularly chronic procrastination, is low self-confidence and lack of belief in one's abilities. Ellis and Knaus, 1977. This is because anxiety about failing at a task can be so intense that it is preferable to avoid the task altogether, which can make the person feel less stressed about doing it in the short term, but ultimately result in increased stress and negative consequences in the long term. Many of us have been raised in a society that demands perfection and success, and failing to achieve these often results in a person believing they are incompetent and that this incompetence will be revealed to others, leading to social alienation and a sense of isolation. Procrastination thus becomes an escape mechanism to avoid potential judgment from others. While it may provide temporary relief, it only reinforces the original fear, creating a vicious cycle of failure and procrastination. To overcome this debilitating cycle, individuals must change their attitude towards failure and challenge the limiting beliefs that drive their behavior. It is essential to understand that anxiety, inadequacy, and low mood do not solely result from failing at tasks, but from how we interpret these failures. People with high self-confidence have developed a belief system that they are competent and in control of their success. As a result, they can attribute failure at a task to specific and changeable factors while maintaining a resilient sense of self-worth. In contrast, those with low self-confidence tend to believe that they are inherently incompetent and that their level of competence is fixed and uncontrollable. This mindset leads to the attribution of failure to internal, global, and stable causes, fostering a negative impact on self-esteem and overall well-being. McGlynn, 1977. Developing and nurturing high self-confidence and adopting an optimistic outlook on the causes of events can serve as protective factors against procrastination and failure. These empowering beliefs provide resistance against self-doubting thoughts that can inhibit goal completion and hinder personal growth. By embracing the idea that failure is not a reflection of one's worth, but rather an opportunity for learning and development, individuals can break free from the shackles of procrastination and fear of failure. Taking calculated risks, seeking support from others, and reframing one's perception of failure as a stepping stone towards success can help cultivate a resilient mindset and pave the way for achievement and personal fulfillment. Lack of motivation. The pattern here is not a lack of motivation, but a lack of motivation specific to the task. The procrastinator is motivated to do a task, but not in the present. There are some tasks that he is actively avoiding doing by doing other tasks. This is because procrastinators have a very narrow focus on time. They are motivated now by the urge to escape the present discomfort, be it boredom, anxiety, tension, or low mood. They will choose to do fun and easy things to give themselves a quick change in conscious mood, even though doing the other task would provide a more beneficial long-term mood change. This is an important concept. People usually procrastinate because the present is unpleasant in some way, and they want to feel better. The procrastinator has an impulsive personality and cannot regulate their mood effectively. He is sidetracked to doing something requiring less effort to change the mood. This is when someone says, "I just couldn't get started on anything. I just sat around half the day and watched television." This person attributes his failure to get on task or accomplish anything to a lack of motivation. He believes something inside him is causing him to be insufficiently driven or energized to take on the tasks. This is a common self-diagnosis for procrastinators. But is it true? The answer is no. Human beings are never devoid of motivation. They are always actuated to behavior by the desire to achieve some goal. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is a high level of fear of making mistakes and a high level of importance that affects self-esteem. We are not discussing healthy perfectionism, such as high achievement and goals. Still, the unhealthy perfectionism is associated with fear of failure and takes the following forms: fearing the negative consequences of mistakes, making them unacceptable. Usually when I risk the possibility of not meeting my high personal standards and decide to do something challenging, I will have anxiety until the task is complete, knowing that the task was a step towards my goal. Any mistake or failure would have a demoralizing effect. Step into the more productive perfectionism, and you will find that there are healthy attitudes towards making mistakes and taking correct steps to move on and achieve success in the face of failure. This can also lead to avoidance of specific tasks and procrastination. This level of perfectionism may be associated with OCD, judging self-worth on the ability to reach these high standards. The person will believe that attaining high standards makes them suitable. If they fail the standard, they think they are much less of a person. Unrealistic personal standards. The person sets very high goals or has an idea of a perfect person that may be impossible to reach. This can be an image, so-and-so is the ideal person, or a belief in the right way to do things. Practical techniques to break the cycle. The most beneficial technique I've used to go from a chronic procrastinator to a chronic precrastinator has been breaking down tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces. When a task seems too daunting, we'll put it off until we have more time or feel more like doing it. This type of thinking is counterproductive and perpetuates the idea of having to be in a certain mood or have ample time to do something. When we break a task into smaller steps and only focus on one step at a time, the task becomes much more manageable. It can be completed without needing much time or a particular mood. By focusing on completing one small step at a time, the task will begin to take care of itself. A great way to fight analysis paralysis is by learning to make quick decisions. We'll often get stuck on a decision because we want to make the right one. To overcome this fear, make it a habit to make quick decisions, as simple as deciding where to eat or what to do on the weekend. By practicing making quick decisions, you'll build the confidence to make fast decisions in other areas of your life, and you'll be less likely to become paralyzed when making decisions. Prioritizing tasks. Ask yourself what the consequences of not doing a task will be. Reflect upon the potential outcomes and ramifications of neglecting your responsibilities. It is crucial to understand that when an assignment holds significance, the repercussions of not undertaking it are often far more substantial than the repercussions of completing a task that may initially appear pressing. In instances where you find yourself succumbing to procrastination due to the distaste associated with a specific task, it can prove immensely beneficial to your productivity to evaluate the task's position within the urgent important grid and to delve deeper into identifying the precise elements of the task that you find unpleasant. This enhanced self-awareness and comprehension will assist you in devising effective strategies to overcome any obstacles that may impede your progress. Having too much to do or not knowing where to start can make you feel overwhelmed and unable to gain control of your current situation. This feeling often leads individuals to procrastinate, hindering their productivity. However, some strategies can alleviate this overwhelming sensation and help you regain focus and efficiency. One effective method is reducing your workload by distinguishing between urgent and important tasks. Urgent tasks require attention shortly, but only sometimes immediately. On the other hand, essential tasks hold significance and must be completed, but they may need an urgent time constraint. By recognizing this distinction, you can redirect your energy and concentration toward the critical tasks that have a lasting impact. You can concentrate on vital responsibilities and progress towards your goals by prioritizing the essential functions. This approach ensures that you are not solely reacting to the urgency imposed by various tasks, but actively engaging in meaningful endeavors that contribute to your long-term success. By doing so, you can effectively manage your workload, reduce feelings of overwhelm, and cultivate a proactive mindset. Remember, it's not always about busily ticking off every task on your to-do list, but focusing on what truly matters and taking deliberate steps to accomplish those objectives. Breaking tasks into smaller steps. This is a particularly effective tool for procrastinators and perfectionists. Many individuals often avoid tasks because they perceive them as too immense, overwhelming, and daunting. Consequently, they need help even to begin the task. Alternatively, some people believe that they must execute a task flawlessly. Still, they do not fail to do it due to limited time. However, there is a beneficial approach to circumvent these obstacles and achieve productivity. Breaking a task into several smaller, manageable tasks and concentrating on one task at a time can significantly assist in overcoming these common pitfalls. Doing so makes the seemingly colossal task less intimidating, and the overwhelming feeling diminishes. Adopting a step-by-step approach helps to alleviate the sense of failure, enabling individuals to cultivate a positive self-image and derive satisfaction from their work. Moreover, this mindset promotes continued productivity and catalyzes increased motivation. As a result, the likelihood of completing the more significant task is significantly enhanced. using time management techniques. Get yourself a diary and plan your week. Scheduling at specific times for specific tasks provides a structure within which to work. It's incredible how much more you can get done when you have a coursework deadline and only a week to do it, as opposed to the luxury of 2 months with nothing planned. Park's theory of time management, I do not have enough time to do what I am doing now, encapsulates the principle of effective time management. Get yourself busy and give yourself less time to do what you need to do. Another vital thing is setting deadlines, whether official or self-imposed. Stick to them. Finally, be flexible with your planning. If you allocate an hour for something and it only takes 15 minutes, use the extra time to get a head start on something else. Always have a contingency task. Planning your week by utilizing a diary can revolutionize your productivity. Allocating specific time slots for each task will create a solid structure where you can effectively work. The remarkable results achieved by having a tight coursework deadline, limiting you to just 1 week to complete the work, are truly awe-inspiring. This stark contrast to the luxury of 2 months with no plans demonstrates the power of efficient time management. Park's theory on time management, beautifully expressed as, I do not have enough time to do what I am doing now, perfectly captures the essence of this principle. By keeping yourself occupied and reducing the time at your disposal, you will naturally prioritize and focus on the tasks that truly matter. Moreover, an integral aspect of scheduling is setting deadlines for yourself, whether they are officially imposed or self-imposed. These deadlines act as a powerful motivator, propelling you to pursue success. Holding yourself accountable and adhering to these set deadlines without any compromises is crucial. Remember, discipline is the key to achieving exceptional results. Additionally, it is essential to maintain a certain level of flexibility when planning. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances may arise that require adjustments to your schedule. If, for example, you set aside an hour for a specific task and find that it can be completed within just 15 minutes, seize the opportunity to make progress on another critical endeavor. By capitalizing on this unexpected surplus of time, you can gain a valuable head start and make toward your goals. It is always wise to have a contingency task prepared, ready to be tackled during such instances. This ensures that you maximize your productivity and make the most of every moment. Adopting a proactive approach to time management by planning your week meticulously in your diary will undoubtedly propel you toward success. Embrace the challenge of tight deadlines and the thrill of limited time constraints. Remember to set clear deadlines for yourself and diligently follow through on them. Remain adaptable in your planning, capitalizing on any extra time. Implementing these strategies and techniques will unlock your full potential and achieve remarkable productivity. The slice and dice strategy is incredibly effective and highly beneficial for managing your precious time. You will experience a remarkable improvement in your productivity and efficiency. This strategy revolves around dividing tasks into smaller, more easily achievable ones. Each mini-task is crafted to be much more manageable and less intimidating than the original task. The tremendous advantage of employing the slice and dice strategy is that it transforms the entire task into a more approachable endeavor. Instead of feeling overwhelmed and discouraged by the sheer magnitude of the original task, you will now be equipped with a set of smaller, digestible functions you can confidently conquer. This shift in perspective empowers you to feel more in control and less intimidated by the enormity of the task. To illustrate the efficacy of this remarkable strategy, let's consider an example. Imagine you are presented with an assignment that initially seems impossible due to its size and complexity. However, by embracing the slice and dice strategy, you can identify specific components of the assignment that can be tackled individually. Instead of paralyzing that you must complete the entire assignment in one sitting, you dedicate your energy to crafting a compelling introduction. This wise decision instantly transforms the seemingly impossible assignment into a more feasible task. Committing to only completing the introduction creates a sense of accomplishment, motivating you to continue working on the remaining sections. As you progress by steadily completing each section of the assignment, you will witness firsthand how the slice and dice strategy brings clarity, focus, and a sense of ease to your workflow. Implementing the slice and dice strategy into your daily routine will revolutionize your work schedule and enhance overall productivity. By breaking down complex tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces, you will effectively ease yourself to a more focused and structured approach to work. No longer will you be burdened by overwhelming projects or feel discouraged by the magnitude of your responsibilities. Instead, you will embark on each endeavor with confidence and determination, knowing you have a robust and reliable strategy. Embrace the slice and dice strategy and discover a world of enhanced productivity, increased efficiency, and unparalleled success, utilizing accountability partners. Accountability refers to the experience of being answerable to someone else for your actions. You are accountable to the degree you are willing to disclose and report on your actions, to endure review and feedback, and to face consequences, whether positive or negative, for your performance. Accountability is simple, yet it has compelling implications in practice. When applied well, it accelerates performance and drives results. It is the key to breaking the deep-seated habit of procrastination. Many chronic procrastinators have benefited from an accountability partnership or working with a buddy. An accountability partner is another person with whom you can share your goals and action commitments to harness the motivating power of disappointing and letting someone else down. This works particularly well as procrastinators are often better at meeting others' expectations than their own. The value of working with another person lies in the support, encouragement, and mutual problem solving between the two of you. An accountability partner can help you generate more ideas, create better strategies, and keep you focused and on track. They can provide tips and feedback on your task, action, and results. You can learn from each other's successes and mistakes. Working with another person can give you energy, motivation, and momentum. The antithesis of the procrastination cycle. The most important aspect of an accountability partnership is commitment to the process. You and your partner must commit time and effort to working together. You should aim to make the collaboration as productive as possible. E.g., agree to talk for a short period, maybe a quarter of an hour, but work intensively to support each other during that time. Decide what would make the session effective, and briefly review what you have achieved on a journey. You and your partner must also share a clear understanding and commitment to your individual goals and tasks. Regular communication or meetings are necessary to maintain momentum and make the process work over the longer term. An accountability partnership can last a few weeks to a lifetime. Decision-making frameworks to move forward. SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool that assesses the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats involved in a project or option. It involves specifying the decision's objective and identifying the internal and external factors that are favorable and unfavorable to achieving that objective. Essentially, it has been designed to help make an informed decision. The analysis must be translated into an action plan to make a successful SWOT decision. It must address the issues identified as either helpful or harmful. The final step is to match and convert internal strengths and weaknesses with external opportunities and threats to generate a set of strategic alternatives. Decision-making models can force an explicit action if you want to move forward. In his book, How to Make a Decision, Jonathan Buzan looks at various frameworks to help with decision-making. Buzan states, "The purpose of decision-making models is to enable decision-makers to make more calculated, considered, and subsequently more successful decisions." SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool to identify and assess a project or business venture's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It is an invaluable framework that allows organizations to gain better insights, make informed decisions, and achieve sustainable success. By meticulously analyzing internal and external factors, businesses can comprehensively understand their current position and develop strategies to capitalize on their strengths, overcome weaknesses, leverage opportunities, and mitigate threats. The structured approach enables companies to align their resources, capabilities, and aspirations with their overarching objectives, ultimately leading to enhanced performance, competitive advantage, and long-term viability. Through an in-depth examination of the organization's internal dynamics, such as its core competencies, valuable assets, and operational efficiencies, a SWOT analysis uncovers its intrinsic advantages and areas that require improvement. Weaknesses and the valued customer's unique perspective should also be examined internally. By doing so, you will gain crucial insights into crucial areas of improvement, ensuring that you maintain a solid competitive edge. It is imperative to identify any tasks or activities that you currently struggle with or may struggle with in the future, as they may require excessive resources. By understanding what to avoid, you can strategically allocate your resources to more efficient endeavors, thus optimizing your overall performance. Strengths and weaknesses are internal factors that play a crucial role in the success of your venture. Strengths are the factors within your control that contribute to your effectiveness and set you apart from others. They encompass the things you excel at and your unique resources, which others may need access to or utilize more efficiently. Identifying your strengths requires introspection and evaluation. Ask yourself, what do you do better than others? How can you leverage these distinct strengths to your advantage? It is essential to assess these strengths not only from an internal perspective, but also from an external standpoint. Consider whether others perceive and recognize these strengths the same way you do, as this can provide valuable insights into areas where you have a competitive advantage. Understanding and capitalizing on your strengths can position your venture for long-term success and growth. Similarly, by thoroughly evaluating the external environment, including market trends, customer needs, competitive forces, and regulatory factors, the analysis highlights emergent opportunities and potential threats that may impede progress. With this holistic understanding, businesses can chart a more focused and proactive course, capitalizing on their strengths while building resilience and adaptability to challenges. Ultimately, a well-executed SWOT analysis is a compass that guides organizations towards strategic decisions that can yield optimal outcomes and sustainable success in an ever-evolving landscape. Cost-benefit analysis. Cost-benefit analysis is another structured way of decision-making. It entails initiating the process by thoroughly listing all the alternatives under consideration. Subsequently, one must meticulously document the costs and benefits of each alternative above. While benefits are typically expressed in monetary terms, it is essential to note that they can extend beyond fiscal measures. Virtually any suitable gauge of benefits may be employed. For example, in the context of a purchasing decision, the benefits could encompass lower costs, enhanced quality, heightened reliability, superior service, or expedited delivery. In some instances, when the benefits are intangible, it might be advantageous to employ a distinct financial decision criterion to ascertain their value. If this criterion indicates that an intangible benefit is worthwhile only if its tangible benefits exceed a certain threshold, then a prudent course of action would involve comparing the tangible benefits to the associated costs. When it comes to costs, they are generally more straightforward. These expenses represent the additional costs that would be incurred for the decision at hand. It is crucial to avoid the common mistake of solely focusing on a singular aspect of the decision when assessing costs and benefits. Instead, a comprehensive evaluation necessitates the inclusion of all relevant benefits and costs, enabling the determination of the optimal course of action. Furthermore, it is advisable to categorize the costs and benefits to enhance clarity regarding their effects. For instance, one may contemplate the short-term and long-term ramifications, or consider the impact on different societal groups. Once the costs and benefits are established, a careful weighing process ensues. This typically involves comparing the total costs with the total benefits for each alternative. Suppose the benefits are quantifiable in monetary terms. In that case, it is customary to calculate the benefit-to-cost ratio by dividing the total benefits by the total costs. However, a qualitative judgment may be necessary when the benefits are challenging to quantify. Pros and cons list. To construct a list, a decision maker draws a line down the middle of a piece of paper or uses a simple computer table to make the two columns. It is advantageous to list all possibilities and options, as making a complete list can often clarify the decision. A decision is then made on each possibility or option, written down to allow comparisons. This method helps in structured decisions involving many options. A decision can be classified as a choice between options. So, a selection is made on the best option, and all the options are compared. The writing down can continue. This method can sometimes be quite time-consuming, but often time is well spent, as clarity and agreement on a decision can be reached through carefully considering all options. An effective pros and cons list is a comprehensive, fact-based analysis of a decision's positive and negative aspects. It involves brainstorming the situation and dividing thoughts into positives and negatives. This approach prevents biased judgment because the negative and positive elements are weighed objectively simultaneously. The most common decision-making tool is weighing the pros and cons. This method is generally effective, but can lead to indecision if the item is unimportant. It can be helpful in conjunction with cost-benefit analysis and SWOT analysis. Setting up a supportive environment. Create a routine specifically for writing. This is the most challenging step for many people. Often, life seems to get in the way of writing. It may help to tell others about the writing schedule and ask for written or oral reminders to stay on track. Planning writing time in response to changes in other life activities may be helpful. For example, if the Easter holiday is approaching, one might complete a paper before that holiday begins. The most important thing is to make a concrete schedule and stick to it. Ideal scheduling involves setting specific goals or things to accomplish during the writing session. It is straightforward to say, I will write for 1 hour, but this is less effective than saying, I will write until I have completed 500 words. At the end of the scheduled writing time, it is essential to take a few minutes to review the progress and set goals for the next writing session. The first step to success is to clean and organize the workspace. This will mean different things to different people. Some may want to manage their desks, others want to write in a different room. The optimal workspace should be clean, quiet, comfortable, and free from distractions. Having everything a person needs for writing in the workspace is essential. This could mean coffee, water, snacks, a computer, plus charger, an electrical outlet, or a desk. The less time a person spends retrieving these items, the more time they will have to write. Finally, people should let their families and roommates know about their writing schedule so they can help keep distractions to a minimum. Removing distractions and enhancing focus. Setting up an environment to enable productive work involves the careful removal of any potential distractions or disruptions that have the potential to hinder the workflow. Distractions can manifest in various forms and differ from person to person. Some typical examples include the allure of television shows, the enticement of indulging in video games, the captivating realm of internet browsing, or even the pull of spending time with friends. These distractions can steal precious time away from the task at hand, making it more challenging to initiate or resume the work while impeding the thought process. The most effective method of identifying the elements that disrupt work is by implementing a weekly timetable that records all academic and other activities. Negative behavior patterns may emerge by documenting the duration and frequency of each task and noting any simultaneous disruptions. For instance, identifying prolonged periods of engaging in task avoidance activities can provide invaluable insights to areas that require attention. Armed with this information, it becomes relatively simple to identify where changes are warranted and formulate strategies for implementing them. Alternatively, for those who find maintaining a timetable cumbersome, a more straightforward technique involves noting the occurrence of task avoidance in real time and conducting analyses to determine the root causes behind them. Once the disruptive influences have been identified, it becomes a matter of orchestrating the necessary changes to eliminate or minimize their impact. The solution may be straightforward for activities such as watching television or taking breaks to play video games. Abstain from engaging in these activities during designated work periods. However, in the case of internet browsing, it may be more practical to set limits on the time allocated for such activities, or perhaps condition their usage as a reward for completing predetermined tasks. Regarding social disruptions, it might be necessary to revisit the approach of communicating with others regarding suitable times for work, while also attempting to involve them in the work itself. It is essential to acknowledge that while efforts can be made to mitigate disruptions, eliminating them is often challenging. There may be moments when the temptation to take a break becomes overpowering. In these instances, it is crucial to refrain from viewing any lapse as a failure. Instead, analyzing and understanding the underlying reasons behind the slip-up is essential, transforming it into a valuable learning experience and ensuring improved coping mechanisms for similar situations. Creating a routine. Creating a routine involves establishing specific times and durations for starting and completing work-related tasks. Additionally, allocating designated periods for lunch breaks and shorter breaks throughout the day is essential. It is highly recommended to strictly adhere to these predetermined times, unless a crucial task requires additional completion time. Moreover, tasks that must be performed regularly should be meticulously integrated into the established routine. For instance, they dedicate an entire hour every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday specifically to studying the French language. Another beneficial strategy is assigning fixed time slots for routine chores, ensuring they do not waste valuable work time. By implementing these guidelines, individuals can actively structure their daily activities, maximizing productivity and efficiency. Routines can be difficult to establish, but they hold immense value in helping us stay focused and driven. According to Parkinson's law, work tends to expand to fit the available time for its completion. This suggests that work will take longer than necessary without a well-defined schedule or deadlines. However, by allocating specific time for each task, we can utilize our time more efficiently, emphasizing the importance of meeting deadlines. Consequently, this management strategy may create guilt-free leisure and relaxation opportunities. Ultimately, incorporating routines into our lives maximizes productivity while maintaining a healthy work-life balance. Surrounding oneself with motivated individuals. Individuals are naturally and intrinsically inclined to assimilate into their surrounding social groups. This aspect of human behavior, commonly known as social conformity, can have positive and negative implications regarding the tendency to procrastinate. It has been observed through extensive research conducted by Baumeister, Stilwell, and Heatherton, 1994, that individuals who exhibit delayed gratification in Mitchell's 1974 paradigms, such as consuming the marshmallow slowly, are generally less prone to procrastination. Conversely, those who consume the marshmallow quickly are more likely to exhibit procrastination tendencies. This research supports the notion that procrastination, like other behavioral patterns, can be contagious within social circles. Consequently, it becomes crucial for individuals seeking to reduce procrastination to surround themselves with individuals who are less inclined towards procrastinatory behavior. However, it is essential to note that this does not imply the necessity for procrastinators to completely sever ties with their procrastinating friends. Instead, it would be beneficial for them to spend less time interacting with friends and colleagues who struggle with productivity and more time socializing with those motivated and driven to achieve their goals. Nevertheless, implementing this strategy may be challenging for procrastinators who feel guilty when neglecting their friends. This guilt may sometimes lead to increased socialization and amplify procrastination. Nevertheless, if executed tactfully, this approach can yield positive results. Another advantage of spending more time with non-procrastinators is gaining insights into their effective goal setting and self-regulatory habits. Conversations with friends about their work methods can give the procrastinator helpful tips and strategies. By understanding how individuals tackle equally unpleasant tasks without falling into the trap of procrastination, procrastinators can enhance their self-regulation skills. This vicarious learning type may require more hands-on guidance from motivated individuals to be truly effective.